Now, silver has been one of the best performing commodity asset class on a year-to-date basis. So the question is whether or not its share price momentum can actually continue for the rest of 2024. As can be seen from this price chart, what the price or what this asset is trying to achieve right now is to convincingly breach its last high or last 52-week high, which was set sometime in July and May of this year. Right now, it is still looking pretty positive, and if the share price is able to breach its $32.50 or $33 level, that is where there is going to be likely more buying momentum, which could push the share price of silver even higher. As can be seen from this table, silver, as highlighted earlier, is one of the best performing commodity plays of late, third only to that of cocoa as well as coffee, and has actually also slightly outperformed its more illustrious precious metal counterpart, which is that of gold, by roughly about 4 percentage points. So can that rally actually continues for the rest of the year? There are a number of articles that has been published recently which believe that that rally can actually continue and silver's rally is not likely to be over as of yet. Now, there are a few reasons why precious metals like that of gold and silver has been doing quite well of late. So the one that everybody has been pretty familiar with is that of rate cuts and policy easing done by the FOMC. So the FOMC's recent decision to cut rates by 50 basis points has given the market confidence that Fed will likely bring real rates down pretty quickly, and this is going to be positive for that of precious metals or those metals that do not pay a yield, like that of gold as well as silver. So opportunity cost of holding on to this precious metal is now lower as a result of the reduce in terms of interest rates, and this again is quite positive for silver. And of course, the other major reason as to why silver has actually been able to outperform that of gold is basically also due to policy push in that of China, whereby China is trying to come out with different policy measures to support its ailing economy. And that is a major tailwind for that of silver, because silver is not just seen as a precious metal, but also it is an industrial metal that has a lot of applications in different industries, particularly that of the renewable industry, whereby China is pretty big in. So if China is able to get its act together and continue to provide sustained measures, this is likely going to be pretty positive for various industrial metals like that of silver. And that could also be one key reason why silver could substantially outperform that of its gold counterpart. Today, if you want to be comparing which is a better buy, is it gold or silver, a lot of times one will be referring to what is now known as the gold-silver ratio to determine if is it cheaper to be buying into gold at this point of time, or is it cheaper to be buying into silver. And a gold to silver ratio above 80 typically means that silver is a cheaper play to be buying, and a ratio below 50 means that gold is a cheaper play to be buying. Now, the current ratio stands at 84. That means that despite the fact that silver has in fact been outperforming its gold counterpart recently, it is still relatively cheap. And therefore, today, if you only have got one commodity asset to be looking at, or one precious metal to be looking at, maybe you should be looking at silver, which is a cheaper alternative. However, do note that silver tends to be a lot more volatile because of its industrial application as well, which is one reason why the share price or silver share price is definitely a lot more cyclical as compared to that of gold. Now, the demand and supply landscape for silver is looking quite positive, as can be seen from the last 3 years. It has been in a deficit situation, so that have actually supported silver price quite a fair bit. demand has been historically stronger than that of supply. Something that we can see a little bit more clearly from this table since 2020, 2021, supply has consistently been below that of demand. And that situation is set to worsen in 2024 as well. However, the deficit in terms of demand and supply have not led to a substantial increase in silver share price over the last 3 to 4 years. The reason is because there are still plentiful of inventory. So as can be seen from this table over here, we can see that there is still plentiful supply of silver bullion industry, but one key factor here, or one key trend over here, is that inventory has been drawn down quite rapidly. So since the start of 2021, whereby there's roughly about 1.7 billion ounce of silver bullion inventories, that figure has been drawn down to roughly about 1.23 billion as at the end of 2023. And if the current supply-demand deficit is to continue, that again is likely to result in this figure dropping below the $1 billion ounce moving forward. So again, that could be a key catalyst as to why silver prices might continue moving higher. The result being that inventory has been consistently drawn down, and we could be at that critical level whereby the market might be getting a little bit more concerned. Now, we have talked quite a fair bit in terms of the fundamentals. Now, let me just spend a little bit more time to talk about what might be some of the counters to look at. Right? So I turn over to my Traders GPS platform to basically be able to identify some of the key silver related ETFs to be buying into. Is it the right time at this point of time, as well as some silver related plays. One could actually be looking to partake into the silver rally through a simple ETF like that of the iShares Silver Trust, ticker SLV. As can be seen over here, this is a counter that is currently trying to breach its 52-week high that was set sometime in May. Right now, it is looking quite positive, and there are actually a number of already signals to highlight that one should already be looking to partake in the early stages of a market rally in this particular counter. You can see that there has been the presence of a green arrow with teeth. Mode is bullish, which is basically a buy signal that happened sometime on the 13th of September. And more recently, on the 24th of September, there's also another buy signal. So what I would be looking at if I'm looking to enter at this point of time is to see if that momentum can actually continue for this share price to breach its key resistance level at roughly about the $30 per share. Okay, for SLV. So this is one simple and easy way to be participating in the rally in silver by buying into the iShares Silver Trust, which is one of the largest silver related ETFs out there. For those of you who are looking at a little bit more leverage play, you can be looking at silver miners. And for that, you can be looking at a ETF such as the SIL ETF. So the Global X Silvers Miners ETF is basically a more leverage play, meaning that most likely than not, the appreciation as well as decline in share price, the magnitude is likely going to be higher than that of silver itself. Now, this counter is also having a similar chart layout whereby it is looking to breach its recent 52-week high set in May as well as in July. Right now, the share price have actually already slightly appreciated above that resistance level. However, it is not a confirmed case that the rally is likely going to continue. So there has also been an early indicator sometime back in 24th of September as well to showcase that one should actually be looking to enter into this particular counter with the presence of a green arrow, teeth, as well as the mode being bullish. And today, if I enter into this counter at a particular point in time, what again I'll be looking out for is for that momentum to actually continue heading higher. Two easy way to be getting into or participating in the rally of silver is that to buy into the ETFs. The related ETF one is the iShares Silver ETF, SLV, and the other one is a more leveraged play, which is to focus on the miners ETF, SIL. Now today, if you want to be buying into individual silver related plays, which might be the best counter to be looking at. So for that, you can also head over to the screening function. And what I've done over here is to screen for basic materials, or specifically gold and silver related plays that are looking quite good at this point of time in terms of their share price momentum. So I've also screened based on the monthly basis. So what I can do is, typically for those who are not familiar, you can first click onto the month, double click to screen for the one with the strongest momentum, followed by the industry, to then select those that is in the gold industry. Okay, gold industry. And what I've done over here is that these gold plays are now all screened according first to the strength, the strongest all the way to the weakest. Okay, so I want to be focusing on those that is witnessing strong strength in the basic material segment, specifically gold and silver related counter. And the one that has caught my eye at this point of time that is specifically exposed to that of silver is that of Pan American Silver Corp, ticker PAAS. So clicking into this counter and to take a look at its price chart, we can see that this counter also has a similar price layout or setup as compared to that of the ETF, which we have talked earlier on as well. Okay, share price is looking to breach its recent 52-week high set sometime in July. Okay, that's roughly about the $24 level. And right now there is actually the presence of a green arrow, but no presence of a thief at this point of time. So it might still be a bit early. Okay, we want to be monitoring a little bit more as compared to the ETFs, which already has got positive signal to enter. This particular counter does not yet have that setup. So we might want to be a little bit more patient for the thief to appear with the presence of the green arrow before we actually take action on this counter. But this is one particular silver related miner that I'll be keeping my eyes out for. And if the rally is able to sustain, momentum is able to sustain, the next key resistance level would be somewhere around the $29 level, which is roughly about 20-30% from its 52 weeks high level of $24 per share. Okay, so that's very nice upside if the momentum can actually continue. But at this point of time, it is slightly premature to be looking at this particular counter, and I want to be waiting for a signal from the trend impulse factor to finally make that buying decision. So for those who are interested to get into the silver play, you can actually be considering buying into the two silver related ETF, the SLV as well as the SIJ ETF that I've mentioned earlier on. With that, thank you very much. Stay tuned for the next video.